Hello everyone and welcome back to English Learning Channel, where we turn everyday challenges into everyday confidence. I'm Hania, and today we're talking about something that touches every single one of us, something that can cause real anxiety when language is a barrier: our health.
Hello, Hania, and a very warm, very safe welcome to all of our friends watching. It's so good to have you here. This space is, and always will be, a judgment-free zone for learning and growth.
Hi, Kamyar. You know, this topic is special. We all get sick. We all have moments of pain or worry about our bodies or the bodies of those we love. And in those moments, the last thing we need is the added fear of not being able to communicate.
Absolutely. That moment in a pharmacy, looking at shelves of medicine you don't recognize, sitting in a doctor's office trying to describe a pain that has no simple word, the panic of an emergency where seconds matter. These aren't just language lessons. These are tools for peace of mind.
And that's exactly why we're here today. Not to scare you, but to prepare you, to give you the simple, clear phrases that can help you get the care you need, because your health and the health of your family is the most important thing.
So, to every person watching who has ever felt that knot in their stomach at the thought of seeing a doctor in English, or felt confused at a pharmacy, this video is your guide. You are not alone, and after today, you will be prepared.
Our topic is essential. Today, we are learning at the doctor's English phrases you must know: symptoms, medicine, and advice. We will walk through 3 critical situations: describing your problem, understanding the pharmacy, and following advice.
Are you ready to build your confidence in one of the most important areas of life?
Let's begin together.
Before we learn a single word, let's address the fear. Walking into a clinic can feel intimidating, but remember this: doctors and nurses are helpers. Their job is to understand you.
Right. So, mindset tip number 1, you are not a burden. Asking for clarification is your right. Saying, "Can you repeat that, please?" is not weak. It's smart and responsible.
Tip 2, preparation is power. Before your appointment, take 5 minutes. Write down your main symptom. Write down any questions you have. You can even show the doctor your notes if you get nervous.
Tip 3. Simple is effective. You do not need medical vocabulary. You need clear, basic English. Pain in my stomach is better than staying silent because you don't know the word abdomen.
Let's breathe together. Deep breath in and out. Carry this calm with you. Now, let's build your toolkit.
Almost every medical visit starts with the same question. So, what brings you in today? Or, what seems to be the problem? This is your moment to give the overview.
Your answer should have 3 parts, like a story. 1, the main issue. 2, when it started. 3, how it feels. Let's build this step by step.
Step 1, the main issue. Start with, "I have a," or "I'm here because I have." Then add the basic problem. Examples: a terrible headache, pain in my back, a fever and cough.
Step 2, when it started. This tells the timeline. Use "it started" plus time. Yesterday morning, 3 days ago, last week, this afternoon.
Step 3, how it feels. Use simple descriptive words. It's a sharp pain. It's a dull ache. It throbs. It burns. It's a constant pressure.
Let's put it all together. I'll ask the question. Hania, you give the 3-part answer. Hello, what brings you in today?
I have a really bad sore throat. It started 2 days ago. It feels like burning when I swallow.
Perfect. Clear, complete information in 3 simple sentences. Your turn, viewers. Pause and practice. I have blank. It started blank. It feels blank.
Now the doctor will ask for more details. They might say, "Can you tell me more about the pain?" or "Where exactly does it hurt?" Let's learn how to be specific.
We'll use what I call the body map method. Imagine your body divided into areas. Learn 8 key areas: head, throat, chest, stomach, back, arm, leg, joint, knee or elbow.
Let's practice pointing and naming. Point to your head and say, my head hurts. Point to your stomach, pain in my stomach. Point to your throat, my throat is sore. Good.
Now, for describing intensity, how bad is it? Use this scale. It's a mild pain. It's moderate. It's severe. It's unbearable. You can also use numbers. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 7.
Next, what makes it better or worse? This is crucial information. It gets worse when I walk, move, or eat. It's better when I sit down, rest, or take medicine. Nothing makes it better.
Let's do a detailed role play. I'll be the patient with back pain.
Hania, as doctor, can you describe the pain for me?
It's in my lower back. It's a sharp, stabbing pain. It started after I lifted something heavy yesterday. It gets worse when I stand up. When I lie down, it feels a little better. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 8 right now.
That is an excellent detailed description. The doctor now has a very clear picture.
Now let's prepare scripts for the most common reasons people visit a doctor. These are your ready-to-go explanations.
Script 1. Cold, flu. I have a runny nose, a sore throat, and I'm coughing a lot. I've had a fever since yesterday. I feel very tired and achy all over. I also have a headache.
Script 2. Stomach issues. I have an upset stomach and nausea. I've been vomiting. I also have diarrhea. It started after I ate some street food last night. I feel dehydrated.
Script 3. Injury, sprain. I fell and twisted my ankle. I can't put weight on it. It's swollen and bruised. The pain is sharp when I try to move it. It happened this morning.
Script 4. Skin issues. I have a rash on my arm. It's red and very itchy. It started spreading yesterday. I think it might be an allergic reaction to something.
Script 5. Chronic issue flare-up. I have asthma, diabetes, migraines. It's acting up again. I've been having trouble breathing. My blood sugar is high, or I've had a migraine for 2 days.
Choose the script closest to something you've experienced. Read it aloud twice. This creates a memory path in your brain.
Now let's move to the pharmacy. This can be confusing, but with a few key phrases, you can navigate it confidently.
Situation 1. You have a prescription. This is easy. Hand him the paper and say, I'd like to fill this prescription, please. Or, here's my prescription from Dr. Smith.
Situation 2. You need over-the-counter medicine. Approach the counter and say, can you recommend something for a headache, cough, or sore throat? Be specific about your symptom.
The pharmacist will likely ask, do you have any allergies? This is the most important question. You must answer clearly. Yes, I'm allergic to penicillin. Or, no, I don't have any allergies.
They might ask, are you taking any other medication? Answer, yes, I take medicine for blood pressure. Or, no, I'm not taking anything else. Always tell the truth here.
Now, you need to understand the instructions. Listen for these key phrases. Take 1 tablet, twice a day, with food, with a full glass of water, every 8 hours.
If you're unsure, ask these clarifying questions. How many should I take at one time? How many times a day? Should I take it with food or on an empty stomach? Are there any side effects I should watch for?
Let's do a complete pharmacy conversation. Hania, you're the pharmacist. Excuse me, can you recommend something for a sore throat?
Sure. Do you have a fever?
Yes, a slight fever.
Any allergies?
No allergies.
Try these lozenges. Take 1 every 4 hours. Don't exceed 6 in a day.
Thank you. So 1 every 4 hours, maximum 6 per day. Should I take them with water?
Yes, and avoid very hot drinks.
Perfect. Thank you for your help.
See how he repeated the instructions? That's a pro move. It ensures you understood correctly.
Back at the doctor's office, they will give you a diagnosis and advice. Let's learn how to understand and respond.
Common diagnoses you might hear. It's a viral infection. You have a bacterial infection. It's a sprain. It's allergies. It's acid reflux. If you don't understand, ask, can you explain that in simpler terms?
Then comes the advice. Listen for these instruction patterns.
You need to, you should, I recommend, make sure to, avoid.
You need to take this antibiotic. You should rest for a few days. I recommend drinking plenty of fluids. Make sure to finish all the medicine. Avoid spicy food.
Your questions are important too. You can ask, how long will it take to feel better? When should I come back? What symptoms mean I should come back immediately? Is this contagious?
Let's practice a full diagnosis conversation. I'll be the doctor giving a diagnosis and advice. It looks like you have a sinus infection. It's bacterial, so I'm prescribing antibiotics. Take 1 pill twice a day for 10 days. Make sure to finish all of them. Also, use a nasal spray twice daily. Drink lots of water and get plenty of rest.
Okay, so antibiotics, twice a day for 10 days, finish all, nasal spray twice daily, rest and water. When should I start feeling better?
In 2 to 3 days, you should see improvement. Come back if you're not better in a week or if you get a high fever.
Thank you, doctor. I understand.
Now, we must talk about emergencies. We hope you never need these, but memorizing them could be crucial.
In a life-threatening emergency, your first phrases should be, call an ambulance, emergency, help. Say them loudly and clearly.
Then, state the problem simply. He's not breathing. She's unconscious. I'm having chest pain. There's been an accident. I think he's having a heart attack.
If you have a serious allergy, you must say, I'm having an allergic reaction. I'm allergic to bees, peanuts, or penicillin. I need an EpiPen.
For less urgent but still serious situations at the emergency room, I need to see a doctor immediately. The pain is unbearable. I can't breathe properly. There's blood in my urine or stool.
Practice saying these with conviction. Call an ambulance, and I'm having an allergic reaction. Say them out loud now. Make your voice strong.
Mental rehearsal builds confidence. Let's walk through 3 detailed scenarios. After each, I want you to pause and say your lines out loud.
Scenario 1, the urgent care visit. You have food poisoning. You're at an urgent care clinic. The nurse asks, what are your symptoms? Describe vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramps, starting after dinner last night, feeling weak and dizzy.
Scenario 2, the follow-up appointment. You're back at the doctor's after taking antibiotics for a week. The doctor asks, how are you feeling now? Report that you're 80% better but still have a slight cough and fatigue. Ask if you should continue any medicine.
Scenario 3, the pharmacy clarification. The pharmacist gives you complicated instructions. You need to clarify. So let me make sure I understand. I take the white pill in the morning, the blue pill at night, both with food, and the liquid medicine every 6 hours. Is that correct?
Excellent practice. This mental rehearsal creates neural pathways, so in the real situation, the words come more easily.
Let's create your personal action plan. Step 1. Save emergency phrases in your phone's Notes app. Include, I am allergic to, blank, my blood type is, blank, emergency contact, blank.
Step 2. Create a symptom cheat sheet. In your notebook, write 5 body parts, 5 pain descriptors, and 5 common symptoms. Review it monthly.
Step 3. Practice the Q&A. Once a week, ask yourself, what brings you in today? And answer aloud using different symptoms. This keeps the language fresh.
Step 4. Use technology. There are medical translation apps. While not perfect, they can help in a pinch, but human communication is always best.
Preparation transforms anxiety into capability. You're not just learning English, you're learning self-advocacy.
Today's lesson was about more than vocabulary. It was about empowerment in one of the most vulnerable areas of our lives.
When you can describe your pain, understand your treatment, and ask clear questions about your health, you reclaim power. You become an active participant in your well-being, not a passive patient.
Your health is your greatest wealth. Your ability to protect it, to communicate about it in any language, is not a luxury, it's a fundamental right. We want you to carry these phrases not as a burden, but as a shield, as a tool of self-care and protection for yourself and those you love.
Take this knowledge. Tuck it into the back of your mind. We sincerely hope you only ever need it for practice with us here, but if the day ever comes when you need these words, you will have them, and you will use them with clarity, and we will be so incredibly proud of you for being prepared.
You deserve to feel safe. You deserve to feel heard. You deserve to access care with confidence. This is one step toward that reality.
If this video brings you a sense of security and preparedness, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us create more essential, life-applicable content.
Subscribe to English Learning Channel and hit the bell. We're committed to your journey toward confident, comprehensive English in all areas of life.
Comment below with one health-related word or phrase you're committing to memory today. Let's build a supportive community resource together.
Share this video with someone you care about, a family member, a friend, a colleague. This knowledge is a genuine gift of security and peace of mind.
Thank you for investing in your well-being and your communication skills. Take good care of yourselves. We believe in you. Bye for now.